Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a sort of bonus video. I'm calling this a bit of a celebration of me having reached 1,000 subscribers, so I just cannot believe it. I have filmed a whole load of videos that are coming up over the next few weeks, and all of them talk about how close I am to 1,000, but yesterday it happened. Feels like a big deal to me to be at 1,000 subscribers. I'm not really sure why, I suppose, but feels like an achievement. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for commenting, coming back time and again, and just being so supportive. It was really quite lovely and a tad overwhelming actually to think that there's 1,000 people subscribed to my channel. So today I'm doing a little video here which is not only in celebration of 1,000 subscribers, but also yesterday I was a Scrap Smarter instructor with Alice Bowl and her Scrap Happy website. So I'm actually going to link the video down below. So I did a video that was entitled Creative Cutouts with Stamps, and I showed and talked through a layout where I cut circles out and stamped behind them. The video is available for one more week, and you can see the whole class and the Q&A and the kind of comments that we had during the class as well. So today I thought, based on loads of the things we talked about in that class yesterday, I felt inspired and I wanted to have a go at another cutout layout. So here I am just cutting out some triangles, and I just cut these triangles out with a craft knife. I didn't bother to use my Cricut. I kind of wanted to demonstrate, after talking about it yesterday as well, you know, how easy it would be to be Cricutless and still produce these kinds of layouts. So I've started off cutting out all of the shapes, and I've gone for like a triangle or like a banner-y type thing, zigzaggy banner. I don't know how to describe it. Lots of interlocking triangles. And some of the things that we talked about in the class were, rather than just stamping, which is what I had done in my original layout, were a few other suggestions and a few other ideas of what you could do in the cutouts. So I thought today I would use a few different techniques that we talked about yesterday. So one of the things we talked about was lettering, like using lettering stamps, and I've done that before in a past video of a heart cutout. I'm going to leave a card at the top here so that you can check out that heart stamping video in case you wanted to see that, where I use lots of different words, lots of different interlocking words. But today I just thought I'm just going to use one word, and that was more because I didn't have any other words that went well with this photo. So this photo that I'm documenting is from Sri Lanka. It's part of the Sri Lanka album, and it was about the visit we took to a tea factory, and we got some pretty cool pictures from here. And these were just two of the pictures that I wanted to use. So I decided to use the word tea and just repeat stamp it in the background on a diagonal. And then I'm going to take this photo, which is of a lady who literally just posed at the side of the road picking tea. I don't think they... I could be very wrong, but I don't really think that most of the tea is picked by, you know... I could be wrong at the factory. Maybe I don't understand what happened. But anyway, this lady posed for money to have a picture taken picking tea. But I thought it was a really nice picture, and it wasn't like the forefront of the picture. And another thing that we had talked about was using maybe more monotonous pictures, or pictures that you otherwise possibly wouldn't print and use. So I thought I'm going to put that in the cutout, and then the main picture is of Bill with his cup of tea. And then I'm also going to try something else that I thought of last week while I was actually filming the Scrap, what am I saying? The Scrap Smarter video. Wow. And I thought that you could do it without any words at all and just be stamping almost to create pattern paper in the background. So here I'm stamping loads of leaves. I thought it was about tea. They're tea leaves. I'm going to use leaves, and I had a lot of leaf stamps, so I'm stamping all different shades of green leaves, starting with the biggest ones, moving on to the smallest ones. But if you see the class down below, I talk about lots of tips related to that. One thing I had to do here was mask off the area here that I was going to stamp this time, and I did that. It's the first time I've ever had to do that, but I did that because the gap between the triangles is actually very narrow. So I don't know if I'm describing that very well, but the little piece of leftover green card is very, very narrow. The top triangle, I want to do a shaker pocket or a shaker cutout, so I didn't want to stamp into that triangle at the top there. So you can see how it's coming together. I really loved how it looked. It looks really cool. I'm really pleased with it. So we've got kind of 2 pattern papers that I've essentially made, the leaves and then the repeat stamped tea, and then we have the tea picking lady. She's going in that cutout, and then the cutout at the top I'm going to do a shaker pocket. So I went kind of crazy for this. Before I do that shaker pocket, because I'm going to need to use foam, I wanted to stamp my title, and I'm using these really cool stamps, totally inspired by Ali Edwards, but I love these stamps, and yeah, I ordered them off Amazon, and it's going to spell out Tea Factory, and it makes a nice imperfect stamp, which I like. We talked a little bit about that yesterday as well, about kind of imperfection and making mistakes and how those things don't matter because no one pays any attention to them. And here I've got some acetate. I just got this cheap off Amazon again. It's actually printable acetate, so you can put it through your inkjet printer and you can print on it. As a teacher, you know, it's just an OHP really, isn't it? So yeah, I'm just cutting this sheet up into a triangle shape that's going to then go there, and then it's going to have all the sparkly bits behind it. You could stamp the pattern paper behind that and then add the sparkles over the top, but I decided to leave it as a white background. So here I'm attaching the acetate piece with some red line tape. I'm just running that around the outside, and then I'm going to stick my acetate to it in a second. What I decided to do was to sandwich the sequins between 2 layers of acetate, but I did think after you really didn't need to do the second layer. If you wanted to save your acetate, you could just sandwich it between acetate and a sheet of white paper if you're not going to stamp the background, but that was easier so that I could place this. This will make sense in a second when I start doing it. But here I'm just adding some foam tape. I used just the thick foam tape, and then I peeled off the top, the kind of protective layer off of that bit there, you can see it, and then I just stuck 1/2 of my other foam tape to it so that I could then cut the foam tape in half without it getting stuck to my scissors. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm not making sense today. And then I'm just going to stick that foam down, peel it up in a minute. Oh no, not just yet. Wow. I've fallen apart at the seams today. So I've cut my second sheet of acetate, and here we go. Now I'm adding sequins. I do cut ahead with this because I was very picky and I spent ages picking out the colours that I wanted. And then I'm going to add some teeny tiny sequins. So here I'm adding some teeny tiny little dark green sequins. These are greens, and I don't know, I felt like adding orange. I like green and orange, I think they look pretty. Then I'm sandwiching the acetate, but here instead of using acetate, you could just use another piece of white cardstock. Then I'm adding glue between all the layers, and I decided not to bump the whole lot up on foam. So it's just the shaker pocket that's on foam. The rest of it is going to be flat, kind of flush with the layout. Yeah, I just decided to do that. That's the joy of scrapbooking, isn't it? And then look how fun it is. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Hot dog. No, I don't know what that was. Some really bad singing. And then I had cut out this picture of Bill, which I know is controversial, but we were also talking about how I came to start scrapbooking, and I remembered something from my childhood where I used to cut pictures out and then stick it into a scrapbook, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to cut the picture out. The background was really busy, really fussy, and it wasn't necessary for the story, so I cut the background out like a rebel. I've added some journaling, and I'm going to journal along the kind of shoulder of Bill. And then that's going to be the end of my layout, I think. Oh no, I do add a little bit of embellishment. Didn't really need it, I suppose, but I just wanted to add a little bit more orange. So I added these Amy Tangerine stickers, and these are from the collection Picnic in the Park. And I got these in a wild hair kit, actually really recently. And yeah, I just couldn't resist not using them. So I couldn't resist using them. And then I'm adding some enamel dots as well, some bright orange enamel dots. So that is going to be the end of the layout. And then there'll be some nice little still shots, so you can have a little look at all of those sparkles and twinkly bits. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for subscribing and liking my videos. And I will leave links down below to other videos and the Scrap Smarter, what's the word I'm looking for, tutorial, so you can watch it down below. Thank you, bye.